What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is TWA Motorsports, and today, no, I did not buy a new truck, but I will tell you guys that when you do these videos, people reach out to you, mostly friends and family, and they want you to do their vehicles. So I agreed to do, this is actually my boss's truck, 2004, I think. It's 2003 and up Chevrolet truck, the kind of cat-eyed version. Some people like it, some people don't. I actually kind of like the truck. I like the color. But what he has that he doesn't like is, as you can see, these pinstripes. Some of them are faded off, some of them are still there, but it looks really junky. And so what we are going to do for him is I'm going to get this off of here. I told him I would do it, and it's relatively simple process, guys. It's not going to take me a ton of time, or at least I don't think that. If I say that, okay, I'm going to take that back because it might take me more time than I want. But the stuff that we're going to be using is like we have used before. We're going to use the eraser wheel to get the pinstripe off. I'm going to clean it up a little bit before I use the eraser wheel. We're going to use some 3M adhesive remover, some fishing line, because I'm also going to take off his Silverado badge and the Chevrolet badge off the back. And I may end up taking this off. I'm going to see kind of what the paint looks like once I get this cleaned up. If it's going to leave a big spot, a lot of times the paint is really nice under this and it'll still show up. So I'm going to kind of gauge it based off of what it looks like after I go over this with the buffer. So the very first thing we're going to do, guys, is we are going to use the eraser wheel. Actually, I take that back. We're going to clean it up a little bit with some quick detailer just to make sure there's no dirt or debris. The truck's kind of dirty right now. Normally I would want to wash the truck first, but I just don't have the time, and we're going to be correcting those areas on the paint anyway, so it's not going to hurt anything to do what I'm going to do. But I'm going to start off by cleaning it a little in those areas. Then we're going to hit it with that eraser wheel, get that all out of the way. Chances are we're probably going to have to go over it with some adhesive remover because this stuff's pretty old and it's probably going to leave a little bit of adhesive behind. But let's get started with that quick detailer. Now I think this will be the best angle for you guys to see it. I'm going to kind of start in the back and work my way towards the front. But like I said, we're just using a 3M eraser wheel. I will list all these things that I'm using down in the descriptions if you guys want to pick these up. Makes this process relatively simple. Well, like I said, I probably shouldn't say that until I get done. But we're going to start with this eraser wheel. So that took maybe 10 minutes to go down the entire side of the truck. A little longer than I thought. And that pinstripe has been on there for a little bit, so it's kind of a pain. But now we're going to use that 3M adhesive remover, and we're going to go over basically all the areas that we just did. And you can see there's still some residue left. And so normally I would go over this again with the eraser wheel, but because I'm going to be buffing it, I think my buffer will take a majority of this out. So basically what we're going to do, like I said, after we go over this, is we're going to put the microfiber pad on my DA, and we're going to go over this with some M101, or M105, sorry, and see how much of this comes out. I think a majority of this is going to come out. And we're even going to be able to nab some of the scratches and mars that are in the paint too. Normally I would like to do the whole thing, but I don't have enough time to do the whole thing, and you're talking about you know, 15 hours of paint correcting on this truck, and I don't think he wants to pay me to do that, and I don't blame him, nor do I have the time really to do it. This is kind of one of those things I'm just doing after work. So once we got this, I'm gonna go grab my buffer. I'll show you exactly what I'm using, and we'll hit this and see what it looks like. Now we're gonna be going over it with this M105, and I also have the microfiber pad on my buffer. So that should take a majority of the big stuff off. Like I said, if there's any glue residue, it should take it, and I am using this pretty liberally, so make sure you use quite a bit of it. So take a look at just one pass. Got all the glue off, took a lot of the Mars out of the paint that were there before, and looks really, really good. So I'm gonna continue with the M105 all the way down the side of the truck, just in this section, and then we will follow it up with some M205, which will kind of take that hazing out that the M105 leaves behind. We will also switch off this microfiber pad for a foam pad when we go to the M205, but you will see that when I get to that section. But I'm gonna blast through the side of this with the M105, finish it up. I will tell you guys, after each section that I'm doing, I'm cleaning this out with, I'm actually using a denture brush because my actual brush that I use for these broke. And so I just grabbed a denture brush, and that cleans all the old paint, clear coat, and any extra compound that you have. You need to clean this after every section. You can see it's all matted down. So I'm gonna clean it out and then keep going. So now that I have this side completely finished with the M105, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the emblems and get the other side done. I won't show you guys the other side just because it's gonna be similar to this, but to get the emblems off, we're gonna use a couple things. We're gonna be using my heat gun to get those emblems nice and warm, and then you probably can't see it, but I'm gonna use some fishing line to get behind those and get those off. Now, once we do that, we can go ahead and follow that with a 3M eraser wheel. That'll get all of that old compound and sticky two-sided tape off. And then we'll be able to go over it with the M105 and the other side, and then we'll finish with the M205. I don't want to keep changing back and forth on pads, so I'm going to just knock it all out at once. And I also think I'm going to go ahead and try to take these stickers off, which I will also be using the heat gun to get those loose, or at least started, and then they should peel right off. Once we make this huge mess, it's time to go over it with some of that 3M adhesive remover, get all the big stuff off before we go over it with the buffer. Now you may have to go over it a couple times with the eraser wheel. Sometimes it kind of melts that two-sided tape, and so it kind of like redistributes it on the bottom, which I actually think this looks like it's going to do pretty good. All the stuff that did melt and went on the bottom is coming off with the adhesive remover. So I'm going to go grab the buffer, and we are going to hit this section right here. Now I got everything off of the tailgate, as you can see, and it's looking really nice. So now I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this sticker off. Now, like I said before, I didn't know because I didn't know what the paint was gonna look like, but I think it's cleaning up pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Now, all this is a sticker. I'm just gonna use my heat gun to get it started and a plastic razor blade, and we'll see if we can peel this off. It will have the kind of glue that you can just take off with the adhesive remover, and then we'll go ahead and hit it with that M105, and then we'll be able to go ahead and switch pads and go to the M205. It's starting to get a little dark, so I'm trying to hurry, guys, but let's go ahead and start this process. So generally, guys, when you take a sticker like this off, it leaves quite a bit of glue, but this one actually peeled off really nice. I don't know if it's a newer sticker or it just came off nice, but the only real sections we have are just around the outsides, and a majority of that will be taken off the buffer. Now, I did clean this panel just with some quick detailer. Like I said, I don't want to get a ton of rocks and junk. As you can see, the truck's dirty down below, so we want to keep all that contaminant out of the paint. But for now, I'm going to grab that buffer again, and once I go over these sections here, get all this outline off, and we should be able to knock this out really quick. It was a little bit better than I thought it might be coming off. The last one of these I took off, it was all sticky down below, kind of like taking window tint off, and I spent probably 30 minutes just cleaning glue off. So this is a pleasant surprise, especially, like I said, since I'm running out of daylight. All right, I'm gonna grab that buffer. So what a huge difference buffing makes, guys. It's absolutely incredible. Now, if you catch this in a certain light, you can kind of see a vague spot. And like I said, that's because the paint has faded a little bit in that section. Now, over time, that will start to go away, and it actually probably could go over it maybe, I don't know, maybe a few more times and get it a little closer, but this is about as close as I'm gonna be able to get it for right now. Like I said, as it bakes out in the sun, it'll start to level out and look up a little bit better, but you really can't see it on camera because it doesn't pick it up. So now we are ready to switch over to this M205 here, and I've also got a foam pad. That's what we're going to. So once we do that, we are going to be completely finished up, and we'll take you around the car. But before that, I will show you that kind of process. The foam pad with the M205 is a lot easier, not as thick, doesn't gum up as much, and wipes off really nice. So it doesn't take nearly as long to do the M205, and to be quite honest with you, most people probably wouldn't even notice, but I'm one of those picky ones that it does haze up the paint a little bit, the M105, so it is nice to go over it with something that takes a little bit of that hazing out. Now, on a vehicle that you're not doing the whole thing, chances are it might look pretty normal. Like I said, most people probably wouldn't notice, but I'm picky, and if I do one, I always do the other. Now, this pad is really kind of already primed. Normally you would want to prime the pad a little bit, but this stuff's pretty forgiving. Let's go ahead and hit this section. We're going to just kind of work our way from here down the truck, and then we'll get the tailgate and the other side. Well, guys, I know it's starting to get dark, like I said earlier, but holy cow, what a huge difference that we have. Still got a couple spots that need wiped off, but wow, huge difference. It always looks better when you take the trim, any pinstriping, and you know, any of the like labels or like the Silverado badges, any of that. To me, it makes the truck look so much cleaner. And man, it just really goes good with the wheels, the window tint. It doesn't break anything up. I just don't like those oddball colors, especially when you put like darker wheels on them. It's just too many colors going on. But I'm gonna try to get this whole thing. I haven't done the other side yet. I was trying to show you guys this before it got dark, but I'm gonna try to get it all cleaned up and finished up, and then we'll take a look around the truck when it's all finished. So guys, it's the next day. I went ahead and cleaned this thing up. I just washed it off and then used some of my quick detailer from Car Pro. It's a waterless wash, but it works great as a quick detailer. I actually got it from the people when they did my Corvette, and it works great. I actually use it as a drying agent, so I spray that on, and it really shines things up. It's got some ceramic in it, so ceramic coating in it. It does a great job and makes things really shine, but I think this thing looks a ton better. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. I'm gonna give him a hard time because I kind of shined up some of his scratches, I guess you could say, but the truck's in pretty good shape, really. I mean, it's got some nicks here and there, but that's to be expected with, you know, an older model truck. But like I said, I think it looks a lot better. We don't have any of those nasty looking old pinstripes that are fading off and cracked, and it did take a little longer than what I thought it was going to take, but that's kind of the nature of it. Sometimes those things have been on there so long and baked in the sun, they just don't want to come off. Now, the stickers on the back came off way easier than normal, and it was pretty normal as far as like the badges on the back. But guys, let me know what you think. Like I said, hit the comments if you think I should do more of this stuff, and I do have more of this stuff planned. Like I said, a lot of times people reach out to me and want me to do things. If I can do it, I will try to do it. I've had a lot of people want me to lower stuff, and I just don't have time to do a project like that. I thought this would take me like an hour. Ended up taking me 3, but like I said, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Now, I do owe the guy that gave me my lowering springs is a friend of mine. I have to do his wife's Jeep. A bird got up against it and scraped it all up, so I do have to do that. So that will be coming down the road. But guys, like I said, if you do like this video, please smash that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, go down, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And of course, while you're down there, make sure you ring that bell icon. That way you're notified every single time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.